had to step out the house. Earlier today, I was working outside, and my mom said, your niece is gonna cook dinner. Now, she's 13. She'll be 14 next month. Hell, when I was 12, I was cooking whole meals. So I was like, okay, she's gonna cook dinner. What's she cooking? Oh, she's gonna cook some spaghetti. Y'all, I didn't even get to eating the spaghetti yet. I didn't try any of the spaghetti. I'm looking at the aftermath. Like, this is ridiculous. So I guess my niece hasn't been taught to clean as you go. Cause this kitchen, y'all, this kitchen, I couldn't even eat if I wanted to because I can't. The kitchen is a wreck. Now, I know when I was smaller, when I was younger and I was living at home, my mom had a habit of going in the kitchen and just cooking, not cleaning up anything that she was using. So at the end of dinner, I would have to clean the entire kitchen along with wiping down the cabinets and mopping the floor. Because my stepfather felt like boys were only responsible for taking out the trash. The girls' responsibility was to clean the house. So they literally had a living maid. I was responsible for cleaning the entire house. My mom did not clean. She was not. And there are women out there who just not, they don't clean. My mom cooked. She just didn't clean. And my niece is picking up the same habit. Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all this kitchen. Look at the aftermath of this. So I want y'all to think, oh, she's only 13 and we just go in there and teach her. And no. It's a difference between when you leave the kitchen a little messy after you cook than this. I'm gonna clean it. Cause I'm not gonna be able to take it. What's it? I'll be back.
What that noise was?
can't cook in my kitchen. Who cooks in the kitchen? Aftermath. The aftermath. What the heck? Can't be back. This kitchen about to give me anxiety. Yeah. I finished that kitchen. After I finished that kitchen, I had to go for a walk. I kid you not, I went for a walk. This time of night, I walked 1.12 miles. I don't know, y'all not gonna be able to see it, but, and it took me 30 minutes to walk it, and I was doing like a brisk walk, but I was like, let me just walk, because I can't believe this little girl came to this kitchen, destroyed this kitchen, and was gonna leave the kitchen like that. But that's just who she is. That's who my mother cultivated her to be. I don't know, y'all. My mom gives this girl high praise for bare minimum. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, it drives me crazy. My niece can be very self-centered, self-serving, self-motivated. And it drives me crazy sometimes. And I'm not in a space or place to discipline her, because I'm not her guardian. I just navigate around the situation. I'm like, okay, like 2 + 2 is always gonna be 4. The sum of this, as she transitions into adulthood, womanhood, is not gonna be good. I used to tell my mom when she was little, why you letting her do too much? I understand that you feel like you gotta compensate for you having her, because her mom just handed her to my mother, and at the time my brother was locked up. Really. Anyway, my mom has had my niece since she was 3 weeks old. My mom has overcompensated constantly. And when my niece was 5, I used to tell my mom, her behavior is out of control for a toddler. You can't let her do that. You can't. What I got from, trying to tell my mom that the behavior was not going to transition well, my stepfather was like, oh, she's just jealous. I'm jealous of a toddler? Now she's a teenager, and I told my brother at this point, I said, I hate to say this, but you literally are in control and containment mode. Because if y'all remember, when I was here last year, when my mom had the stroke, we came here after getting out of the hospital. My mom would call her, and I'm just gonna call her a little bit, and be like, little bit, come here, little bit, give me my house shoes a little bit, give my house shoes a little bit. My niece was sitting at the table with me in the dining room across from me, and would look up, look at my mom, look at me, and I will always pretend not to be paying attention, and look back down like, I wish she stopped calling me. And when I got here last year, I kept saying, don't get in this, don't get in it, because I've always heard how disrespectful she was. And I used to say, don't get into this, it's not your place, it's not your child, don't get involved. But after 2 weeks of being here, watching her literally disrespect my mom after getting out of the hospital with a stroke, I was like, enough. So I had to step in a couple of times, like, if you don't do what she said, I'm gonna throw your little ass across that room. So my niece, needless to say, does not play with me. Does not play with me at all. One time she was joking, and she said, oh, I fight old people. What old people? This old people? Oh, child, you don't want this old people. You don't want this kind of old people. This old people I'm gonna bend you up. I'm gonna make you mad. So don't think because you hear the numbers 5-5 that won't get you laid down in 5. Like, really? You beat up old people? And she said it jokingly, but y'all gotta be careful playing with these kids, because sometimes there's serious undertones to it. So I had to let her know, you don't want to deal with this old people. Yeah, I'm sitting out here. Y'all hear these crickets? And like stuff be falling out this darn tree. I don't like bugs. I know I got a snake at home, but I don't like bugs. But yeah, my niece is something else, y'all. So she is something else. She's something else. And again, it's not my place, it's not my space, and I'm not her guardian. So I navigate around her. But, you know, reflecting back on my childhood with my mom, reflecting back on how my mom was with my children, if I hadn't got to a place of healing, oh, this would be a mess up in here. Because I wouldn't go after my niece, I would go after my mom. And that wouldn't even be fair to my mom. Because when you go through a traumatic childhood, you have to understand, attacking the person that hurt you is not going to heal you. And that's for real. And when they say hurt people, that is so true. Because if my mother had anything other than trauma to pass on to me, then I'm pretty sure she would have provided that to me. But I couldn't expect my mother to love me because nobody loved her. And it's self-evident because of the man she chose to put in her life and our life. And how that whole thing transpired. I'll never forget. We were living in New York, we were living in Brooklyn when he moved us here to Richmond. I remember I was really young. The night, I was a baby, y'all. The night he moved us to Virginia, I remember the house and everything. I remember we was upstairs on the second floor. We had a Ryder truck. We got here like at midnight. Yeah, I was a baby at this time. I was like maybe 6 when we moved here. So I remember the apartment we was living in Brooklyn. I remember everything. So we came here in a Ryder truck. He parked the Ryder truck in the parking lot. He moved the beds in because we had twin beds. He moved the beds in. I'll never forget, we was on the TV, Bowman Body. There used to be a TV show called Bowman Body. They used to come on at midnight. I believe it was a Friday night. And I'll never forget, and this is why I remember things in detail. Because when he moved the furniture in, he turned the TV on, he left to be with his mistress. And my mom was screaming and crying and begging this man not to leave. And he left. I'll never forget that. He left. He divorced her. I want to say in 2000. No, 2002. He divorced her. She moved with me in Charlotte. Never paid bills or anything. Lived with me, 4 kids. I was the sole provider in the house. I was working at Bank of America. Anyway, he divorced her then. She was so depressed. Because at the time when she moved with me to Charlotte, he was in jail for trying to shoot me. Because I wouldn't let him beat up my 16-year-old brother. I never told that story, huh? We're going to have to talk about that. But anyway, he had just got out of jail. The house had got foreclosed that I grew up in. And she moved with me to Charlotte. And then he divorced her to go be with the mistress that he had been dealing with since we moved from New York. Now by then, he had 2 outside kids by other women. But he was going to marry the mistress that he had been dealing with since we moved from New York. Now, this is the thing. I don't know why the woman was still dealing with him, because when I was 13, he shot her in the face. He did 3 years behind that. That's how he became a convicted felon. So when he tried to shoot me, I called the cops and was like, hey, this felon got a gun. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. But I'm on the other side of that. And I could tell that story like, wow, that really happened in my life. And I'm really healed from it. And that, let me tell you something. This daggone car. Because I used to pray to God all the time. Like, why am I so mad all the time? And it was revealed. Because you got a lot of hurt that you didn't deal with. You got a lot of pain that you didn't address. And that hurt and pain turned into anger. It turned into frustration. So when I started dealing with that, I learned to have self-control. When I started dealing with the pain, I became self-aware. When I started dealing with the hurt, I became more secure within myself, understanding that the things that happened to me wasn't my fault. I didn't have nothing to do with me. It would have been the same thing if it was a different person with the same people. It would have been the same results because they were who they were. Understand that, y'all. When somebody do something to you, if it was somebody else in your place, they would get the same results because that person that did it, that person that initiated the hurt to you, they haven't dealt with their mess. So what are they going to do? Redirect the pain, redirect the frustration, redirect the anger, redirect the aggravation of their life onto somebody else. That's seriously what it is. But again, to watch my mom with this little girl could be very triggering if I hadn't healed from that place that I once in. It could go. This probably would have took me out to be like, I don't care what you're going through, I'm going home. But I'm not that person anymore. And what I do know is inner peace. I'm not sacrificing my inner peace, negotiating my inner peace with anybody for anything, because I'm my top priority. Because if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of nobody else. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all letting me vent. Because, yeah, watching this little girl maneuver around this house, y'all, that's something else. But, 2 plus 2 is 4. And this transition from this person to a young woman, because she's 14, she got 4 more years. Yeah. Again, 2 plus 2 is 4. I tried to talk to her about the condition of her grandmother, and I told her, I said, listen, this lady will give you her last, and it's evident. It's evident. My mom would give her her last. My mom gets a check a month. 1 check a month. Her mother, who lives 2 miles away, pays $62 a month. $62 a month. That's what her mama pays. So her mama don't pay enough for her to sustain her. It is what it is. That's the reality of the situation. Anyway, yeah, that's my update for here. I think I got a story time for y'all next vlog because, yeah, my brother's girlfriend don't like me. Go figure. I'll talk to y'all next time we're keeping up with Dez, and we got a story time of, I guess, how I caused the demise of my brother's relationship. Talk to you guys later. Bye.